Okay, hello, and welcome to Total War Warhammer 2, Part 12 of my Alval Kislev campaign. Before I start, however, I would like to just go over something briefly. In the interim time, between yesterday and today, a patch was released. The patch, I believe it's 1.7.3, something like that. It's a very small patch. It's mostly fixes some bugs with the new DLC which was made available for everyone, the Gotrek and Felix DLC, which you'll be able to access if you go to the what's it called? Creative Assembly dashboard Total War Access thingy they have. You have to create an account on their website to be able to get it. There's a bunch of other free stuff as well on there. It's a bit convoluted, but I don't... Can you get it through Steam? Let me have a look. I know you can get it through their website. You just have to log into your account. And then click on the Gotrek and Felix DLC, and it will ask you to put in your Steam account details. And it will get you the Gotrek and Felix, who will turn up in your campaigns, and you'll be able to actually recruit them. But yes, there was a fix in the this patch with a bug which would occur with them, where Gotrek and Felix markers could appear without owning the DLC, and if you tried to recruit them, it would not work. I had experienced that one myself. I think they only appear if you're playing as Bretonia, Empire, and Dwarves. There might be another faction in there, but you have to be one of those good factions because they're very specifically aligned for that. So, let's see. Fixed an issue with saves could not be loaded. Was more prevalent in multiplayer save games than single players, but did affect both. Fixed an issue where using the Rite of Awakening was not offering any slans. Raid region missions will no longer be issued which target Horde factions. Well, that's good. Wrecker's Point can now be correctly occupied by Norska. Norskan as a faction can occupy docks or seaports for that. The Bright Wizard included in the garrison in the Red Moon Inn, which I believe is located in Ubersreich, now correctly has access to his spells. Elect accounts with high fealty are now less likely to succeed. Fixed an issue where choosing to stop a succession faction by force via the Empire Dilemma did not result in being at war with that faction. And fixed an issue where declaring war on an elect account would sometimes not result in a penalty to Imperial authority being applied. There was also apparently a crash for all campaign types where if you disabled a mod and then tried to save and tried to load a game, wouldn't like recognize that the mod was disabled or something. The game was saved and then tried what was it? For all types of campaigns, but this will only occur if you disable a mod that was active at the point when the game was saved and then tried to load that particular save. If you hadn't removed a mod which was in the game at the point of saving, you should now be able to access the game, but you will not be shown a warning when trying to load the game in the case of a mod mismatch. After the game has been saved one more time, the mod information display will work as normal. There was also a few balance changes to some units. The primary ones is some stat changes, increases actually, to the Dread Saurian, which is a new unit added in the last DLC for the Lizardmen, as well as a slight change to Krokgar and Grimlock, Treader of Lustria, which is a unique unit of Razordons, I think, as well as some changes to Razordon's attacks, and Nakai the Wanderer was made a bit cheaper. I think that's for multiplayer. Empire War Wagons were reduced in cost. And also, another big change was Marcus Wolfhart, who had his abilities reduced by quite a bit. But Creative Assembly has a post on their forum explaining their reasoning behind it, feeling that what's his name? what's his name? Marcus Wolfhart, being able to is a monster hunter, so he was able to deal with monsters very quickly. However, he was also able to deal with enemy heroes and lords extremely quickly, so they reduced his ability to do that. Some people think they might have gone a bit too far. I personally have not played with Marcus Wolfhart to have an opinion one way or the other. So, but I trust that Creative Assembly had good reason to do what they would, and they'll probably fiddle around with it in the future. So that's just that. It was a very small patch. Notes. Mostly it was just activating or allowing people to use what's it called? Gotrek and Felix. It'll be neat, but I don't think we'll see them in our campaign, sadly, because I don't know whether they will be available for Kislev. All of our mods should work. I did load the game briefly beforehand to see whether it would load fine, and it seems like it's alright. The patch wasn't big enough, I think, to really have any issues. I'm saying that, but I don't know how mods work. Whether they have to tie themselves specifically to the game version, or whether they get broken depending on how many updates and changes were made to the game's files. Everything should be alright? If not, I don't know. I might have to start a new campaign. Which is no problem for me. If we do, I might play as one of the other factions from that mod I was talking about last time, Lost Faction. I would like to kind of play as Araby. That would be fun. Or the Halflings. We can have all the pasties we can eat. And throw soup at vampire counts. What were we doing last time? Oh yes, how could I forget? The invasions of Warriors of Chaos began. And we defeated 2 of the Beastmen of Chaos armies at a crossing, which... No, actually we didn't do it at a crossing, because they managed to attack one of my forces, which was behind the river crossing. So they just ignored the fact that we were at a river crossing and attacked one of my armies behind my army at the crossing. So that was a bit annoying, but we were able to defeat them all the same. They weren't particularly powerful armies. They were lacking in minotaurs and more powerful units. They were essentially just Gors and Ungors. So it was a slaughter. And I think we left with their forces being scattered before us, ready to hunt down and kill. We also have, I think there's at least 1 Chaos army still coming from the Chaos Wastes. They've already raised one of my settlements. Volksgrad, is it? But I had to sacrifice that one to protect Prague. We can imagine we evacuated everyone from that settlement before they got raised, or not. I mean, this is the Warhammer world. Bad things happen. More dramatic, I suppose, if everyone died in the settlement and they got their souls sacrificed to the various Chaos Gods. Or they got it by the Beastmen. That's more likely. We're in a pretty good position, actually, so far. I have a number of armies. Katarin is still over in Albion, which we fought off Egrim van Horstman and his Cabal, or at least Egrim van Horstman's army there, which was quite fun. That battle actually went a lot better than I was expecting to at the time. So Albion is firmly under our control, I'd like to say. We can't actually build very good garrisons there, so it's still a bit tenuous, but Katarin's there protecting it. I was pushing into Norska, and we are holding the regions which we had in Norska. But with the Chaos invasions, I've had to withdraw my attacking armies there to deal with the Chaos armies which are spawning. Because they're the bigger threat. We'll probably lose some of our settlements which we took in Norska, but that's acceptable. Though I do kind of worry if there's going to be Norskan armies coming out of Norska up there, and Wulfric the Wanderer and Drolk the Troll King at the head of, and what's his name? Egil Styrbjorn leading an army each full of mammoths and skin wolves and ice trolls and, I don't know, possibly some ice drakes as well. Why not? We haven't seen those yet. I'm glad. We also haven't seen the most powerful war mammoth, mammoth. We've seen feral mammoths and we've seen the occasional war mammoth, but we have not seen the war mammoth with the Shrine to Chaos powder. Which is more of a buffing unit than an attacking unit. It bolsters the forces around it. I believe. We also haven't seen any Famir. Which is a bit odd. They've been building heaps of skin walls, but no Famir. I don't think... Pardon me. I don't think we've even seen any of the Famir spellcasters. They can get some mages, which are Famir, and being what they are, they're a bit tougher in melee. They're essentially like a troll which can cast spells. But they don't have regeneration, but they have better armor. And I think they have missile resistance, because they shroud themselves in mist. But yes, here we go. Volksgrad is destroyed, as we can see. Are there any armies up here? No. Are they at war with Doomkeep? Yes, they are. So they might be having problems with this. I don't know what the army of Doomkeep is like. Is Katarine in the Citadel of Lead?
How can I assist you?
Holding Albion. Oh, no! Wait, hang on. Okay, actually, I said, oh no. The High Elves have been having a, invasion of, Bretonia, as you can see. They hold Leonese.
Defender of the Everqueen.
Prince Imric is there currently. A legendary lord added by Mixu's legendary lord pack. I think there's a high elf army there. You can see the tents. They had also raised and then taken Langil. And it looks like they've actually lost it since then. Oh, there's a exalted hero Ragnar. And they've moved to Siege Corone. I have to assume that's the... Actually, I don't have to assume that's a High Elves siege in Corone. That could actually be one of the Cabal factions because of the Chaos corruption. So the High Elves moved, took Angil, and then the Cabal or Chaos faction came over here and decided to start roughing them up. They did have like 3 armies over here marching over. I suppose they docked and offloaded over here. Are you allied now? It's improving. But you still hate each other. So I would kind of like them to remain enemies, but because they're both getting attacked by Chaos and Norska, or Warriors of Chaos and Cabal, chances are they're going to ally with each other because there's a bigger threat and they're both good guys. Deal with these guys. Are they going to flee and I'm going to have to chase them down? Nope. Oh, we get banners. What's your armor piercing? 12. Yeah, let's give you 22 armor piercing. Griffin banner. I will put that on you. You're actually mounted on a horse, so I don't think I will. Yes, actually, because if you charge into melee, that will help you. Charge bonus, actually. 7%. I put that on there. 82. Thing is, you can't tell which units have the banners when you put them on. So if I put like the armor-piercing banner on this unit, I would actually, I think, have to look. No, I don't think the effect of the banner shows up in their abilities. I think you just have to look at their stats and note that they have more armor-piercing. It'd be neat if they got like a unique, like a little symbol on their icon. I don't think they keep this little icon here during a battle. I'll give you the Griffin banner, and the Rampage's standard. Yeah, I don't know. I'll give it to you. Doesn't really matter, but kill the captives. And these beastmen, I want you to move there. And you are in march mode. Force march, but I want you to deal with them. Good. Kill the captives. Good. Good. That's both beastmen armies dealt with. Boris, I want you to go back across the river. Force march. Then Yegor, I want you to go there. There we go. Now, I will give you... What units do you have? A lot of infantry. I'll give you rally. And I'll give you... These aren't actually useful to me. A steam tank demigriff knights. This is all empire. It's because you're a lord and not a boyar. You actually giving them bonuses for that? 29. I think you are.
The nation calls.
24.
To the provinces.
24. Yes, you are giving the bonuses, even though it says for Empire, this is just missile infantry, and apparently it applies to my Streltsy. If I put that, then we'll increase our spearmen. Though it would be better to have a boyar, because I would actually get the better stats. Particularly this one, Blessed by Ursud, where they get all your Gospodar, Joyaska, and Streltsy just get ward saves. Very nice. Give you Inspiring Presence.
It is time.
Boris, you can get... Oh, this is Kislev. Another point.
By the comet.
Good, good. That's Prague. Let's build barracks here. And then we'll upgrade the walls. Fort Ostrosk. No. Kislev. I would like Erengrad, actually. I'd like to build the Erengrad port. Can we upgrade that? No. We have our army up here also. Zakar Parshin. Primarily cavalry. Got Olgasgrad, Rota, and Winged Lancers. Defending the Tower of Crack up there. Maintaining order there mostly. Might actually just sit on the gold. I'll be able to save it up for next turn. So I'd like some stronger artillery. That would be nice. Having some cannons to shoot across rivers would be useful. There's high sentinels. Oh, I get to actually see what their buildings are. I haven't actually seen the Defenders of the Great Plan's buildings. Defenders of the Great Plan, I explained it last time. The character added in the last DLC, Nakai the Wanderer, who is a Croxigore for the Lizardmen. A large alligator-like being. He doesn't... He works as a horde, so he doesn't take settlements himself. However, when he destroys a settlement, or defeats a settlement, he can choose to gift it to the Defenders of the Great Plan faction, and they will take control of it in place of Nakai, and you can dedicate it to one of the gods of the Lizardmen, or one of the Old One gods of the Lizardmen. So this one is a Defender Settlement, which has a large garrison in it, I suppose. More untainted, high public order. Old One's favor generated 2 per turn. Okay, so he has a unique ability there. Temples of the Old One +1. And generates 500 income. And this is a Temple of Quetzal. Those who love war and defense of the Great Plan worship the warrior god Quetzal for guidance and protection. By its garrison, Pterodon Riders, Fire Leech Bowlers, Saurus Scar Veteran, which is a hero, 2 Saurus Warriors, 2 Temple Guard, are Sauruses armed with heavy armor and a helmet, and an Ancient Stegodon, which is a Triceratops-like being, and it has a... I think it's got a ballista mounted on it? Or does it have a rapid-fire blow guns on it? Or rather a blowgun which fires in volleys. Let's see. That one, I think, is actually the one armed with the ballista. No, giant blowpipes. Pardon me, it says right there. This ancient, revered beast is a fearsome sight on the battlefield. Their giant blowpipes causing much destruction. So yes, if you like dinosaurs, Lizardmen are the faction to play as. So many. Oh yes, also Mikhail. All the way down here. Where is he? He's over here. Oh yes, and our ally, Arkan the Black. And Veil. Tomb Swarm. Realms of the Soul. Realm of Souls Ushabti. The various special abilities of the Tomb Kings. Actually cast one of their rights recently, so they have a few extra abilities.
For the wisdom of Valea.
You can see the Greybeard's Prospectors here, led by Thick Skolson. And Gomrund Hogmog. Gomrund Hogmog. Okay. It's an honourable name. It's been the name of my generations. The name of Hogmog is renowned amongst the Karaks across the world. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry for laughing at you.
To the provinces, the Empire.
I will give you Deadly Blade. I haven't moved you, but you were actually the one the AI was able to attack. I will move you up there. You're still within range of his reinforcement circle. There's a red circle around him when I hover over the army. However, you're not as close to the river. Dark Grey Khazid Urkulaz. Actually getting corruption there. Change it to Untainted. Okay. Let's see what turn 106 has to offer us. Is Lothern going to continue pushing into Bretonia? Can't see any changes on. Oh, the dwarves have taken back Matorka from the border princes. They weren't going to have that. They lost that settlement. The dwarves have a mechanic where they have their Great Book of Grudges, and every time something happens to them, they write it down in the Great Book of Grudges, and they are incentivized by penalties if it stays around for too long to clear the Book of Grudges. And that includes if they lose a settlement, they are tasked with taking it back. The Tomb Kings of Nehekara have much to offer their allies. You want military access, but you're all the way down here! Again! Arkan the Black wanted military access. This is actually one of the more friendly Tomb Kings factions. Arkan the Black is kind of a bad guy, despite our agreement with him. But I think it's more just a non-aggression pact agreement. Or are we trading with him? No, we're not. Okay. But Khalida here is more of a good Tomb King's faction. She hates vampires, as it says here. Nothing more needs to be said. She is focused pretty much solely, single-mindedly on destroying vampires everywhere. Because I think it was her sister, Neferata, who brought about the vampires in the first place? And I think she poisoned Khalida. And Khalida devoted herself to the asp god of the Nehekara, or the Tomb Kings, when she was alive, and can't remember exactly. She comes back and she's hell-bent on killing all the vampires because vampires are bad. The art of diplomacy is beautiful and complicated. Those who master it can paint a masterpiece with a handful of words. Sure. What are you going to do as military access? Are you going to march an army all the way down there, all the way up into Kislev? That would be fun to watch. You'd have to go through so many provinces, and you'd upset so many people. You're probably just not going to do anything with it. Bretonia's thinking. Okay. What else? Warriors of Chaos. Yep, they'll be coming from over here. The Cabal is still around. Whatever's happening at Corone hasn't occurred yet. The city's still there, from what I can see. Unless they defeated the siege. It's possible, but Bretonian garrisons are... Yep. Difficult to use. They're made up of a lot of cavalry, which makes sense for Bretonia, but cavalry aren't very useful in the city fight. I think the custom maps help us out a bit in giving the Bretonian cities wider avenues so that the cavalry can charge around behind the walls a bit better. Because otherwise you're fighting in streets. Cavalry don't work too well in streets, funnily enough. Unless it's Rome Total War, and then cavalry are completely fine within a city because they just destroy everything on the charge. Two other Chaos factions, Puppets of Chaos and Servants to Chaos. They spawn in other parts of the world. I think above and below Ulthuan. Assaulted the garrison again, I think. Faction destroyed, Jagged Horn tribe. Servants to Chaos are destroyed. It didn't last long. And we can't see any other Chaos factions here. Do I want to take Volksgrad back? Not right now. I think that would be kind of a bad idea. We'll just hold up here at this crossing. I can't actually upgrade you to level 5 yet. Prague is upgrading. What are our bonuses? Nothing. The supply lines, which is extra cost from having armies. Do I want to build gunsmiths? Do I want to upgrade? Can't upgrade that. Oh, buildings, why do you have to be so expensive? Okay, I might sit on my gold for another turn. You go down there. You see the floating pyramid? We encounter the Sentinels of Seti. We can see this little symbol here. Savage Orcs. This area is sacred to the Savage Orcs. At some point, the Greenskins' tribal migration will bring them to this area. If you capture this settlement as the Greenskins, it allows you to recruit Savage Orc units. There's a few places around the map like that. There's some others over here. This is a big center here for Savage Orcs. Like here, you can see Agrul Migdal. Savage Orcs in it. They're not that different. They're mostly just They're lighter armored orcs, but they have magic resistance, I think, because they have like war paint on them, which protects them from magic. And I think they have frenzy, so they're a bit more crazy in combat than normal orcs, but they're more lightly armored. You can see the entirety of the city of Nagorod. This big purple glowing tower and docks and this. I think that's actually supposed to be a black ark held up outside the city. Corone doesn't look like it's being sieged anymore, so they've managed to beat back whoever was there. Castle Carcassonne's still held by the Empire. Tabaro is held by the Empire. And Bilbali. Magritta not yet. So the Empire's actually pushing into the southern provinces. They're going to destroy Skavenblight? Matorka is at war with border princes. They're not at war with Hylia. The Empire has taken King's Glade. Okay. The Empire now claims a part of Athel Loren, because why not? Gotta have to stomp on the Empire. They're being like cockroaches. Bit of an upgrade. Yep, okay. We get that. Rack and Drac. Any agreements? Nope. Okay, fine. Still no. Okay. Just end the turn again. I'm sort of waiting for the Warriors of Chaos to come and attack me. Oh, I forgot to move Mikhail. Sorry. I always forget about you. We're all the way down here. We see Jiluk Oasis held by... what's it called? Tlaqua, I think it is. There's an army there, and Wadi El Tebuk. It's actually uninhabitable for us to live in the desert. It makes sense. I mean, we're Norskans. No, not Norskans, we're Kislev. Kislev. Keep mixing that up. It's terrible. It's insulting. I'm still surprised that Clan Rictus is around. Usually they get defeated rather early on. At least in my experience. Vampire counts have been very quiet in this campaign. Sometimes they expand into the Empire. I suppose it's whether the Empire is weaker. I think the Empire has been pretty strong. They haven't lost many regions to marauding greenskins or beastmen, so the vampires haven't had a opportunity to exploit. Military alliance negotiated between Safri and Lothern. They're allying with each other against a greater threat. Safri and Lothern start off with a dislike between each other. That's right, the top knots are still around a lot north of Kemri. There's still apparently war herds of chaos. Maybe there's another beastman army coming to attack us. Oh, hello.
Speak anyway.
Skullpake again. Together we do much. Time is right yet ripe. Yes, yes. Non-aggression pact. Really? You're at war with Norska? And Puppets of Chaos. You know, I don't like you, but you don't technically count as Skaven. Because you're a rebel army. Sure. If you can deal with the Norskans for a bit, I will not take you off the map. I will later on, because you're a rebel army, and rebel armies are there to be squished, but you're attacking my enemy at the moment, and I'm not interested in fighting you too much. Now. Oh, Sudenberg's still around. Sudenberg is a Empire faction which starts off down here. They're still there. The landed dervishes. What do you got? Loretica. There's Paxo and Slackjaw. Slackjaw. I believe the lizardmen have a bunch of punny names, as well as some of them with names which mean stuff, I think, in Dutch. So, Saurus Spears, Shields, Blessed Saurus Spears, Shields, Blessed Temple Guard. They actually control a fair bit of, they control the entirety of the Great Desert of Araby, which is this region here. And the Black Tower of Arkan have taken that. Are you at war with them? No, you're not. Springs of Eternal Life are still held by Tomb King rebels. Alright.
As long as this serves Lebaras, I will hear your plea.
Okay, you're not interested in anything else. How much do you control here? You don't control Lebaras, your old capital, but you control Lamia and Marak. Lebaras is over here. So, Lamia should have a unique model for its capital, or it used to. Doesn't seem to now, which is a bit of a shame. It had like green glowy lights on it. It looked quite cool. Oh, they held the Misty Mountains as well. I can't forget that. Some reason they do. And Barak Var controls Grad Tomid. Grad Tomid. Why? That's all the way down there. You're all the way up here. Oh, and Clan Angrund holds Crooked Fang Fort. Can't forget that. But they don't hold Karak 8 Peaks. So, you know, priorities. I want to see what Gul Ekrund is like. It says top knots. So. Yeah, they had to travel all the way from over here. All the way down to here. I mean, maybe they're taking that before they take back Karak 8 Peaks. We see Fort Sol here in Winter's Teeth Pass. It's Helmgart here. Axebite Pass and Fort Bergbray in Gisaro Gap. Oh, and Marienburg's getting sieged now. I believe by, yep, chaos. There's corruption caused by characters there, that's how I can tell.
No.
Oh, hello. Kagan Festerheart. As Master Phantasmancers, Phantasmancers, yeah. Chaos Sorcerers use the Law of Shadows to confound, weaving an aura of darkness and dread about their victims. He's only level 3.
Ready.
What would it be to assassinate you? 37% chance. Don't have an assassin. A witch hunter would be nice. Can I get witch hunters anywhere? Rastiltin, veteran of Prague. Vasily Maslov. Cunning. He's strong. What does Karak Ungor? No. Do I have any, Oh, I can get Priests of Ursun, actually, in Kislev. Tough or aggressive. Armor piercing. Charge bonus or weapon strength +5. Armor and melee defense. Dmitry, Boyarin, or Yuri Volkov. Or we can also get a battle mage. A battle wizard. We can get a celestial wizard. We can get an ice witch. Also known as Maidens of the Ice Witches of Kislev are feared and respected throughout the Old World. Regal. Public order +4. That's pretty damn good. Or confident. Leadership +2. think Regal's a better one there. Let's get
Priestess of the Lady.
Victoria Goraya.
It shall come to pass.
You'll be useful, and we'll also get a Priest of Ursun. Tough or aggressive? We'll get tough. There we go. What's he got? Hold the line, Ursun's Ward, Blade Master, usual stuff. Growling Fury. The priest's chants fill his warriors with implacable, ferocious rage. Self affects allies in range, plus 22% charge bonus and plus 30% armor piercing damage. That's pretty good. And Prayers of Ursun. The priest's rousing prayers grant his followers strength and courage as they tap deep into Kislevite national pride. For 30 seconds, affects self and allies around in range, in 50 meters, plus 15 melee defense, plus 15 melee attack, and unbreakable. Pretty nice. It just gives all the units unbreakable around him. Oh. Okay. Increase your hard to hit. I was saving up for some other buildings, but other things happened, and I recruited some heroes. Oh, and now Ice Witch doesn't have any levels,
What
so,
would you have of me?
but we can see here. Oh, actually, right. I'd actually kind of forgotten that. She has access to 2 Laws of Ice. Law of Winter's Rage and Law of Northern Witchery. Witchering. Yeah, right. So, the Law of Winter's Rage. What does Zarina Katarine Walker have?
Can I offer assistance?
Glacial Barrier, Gift of the Winter Wind. Shield of Cold, Winter's Kiss, Wind of Ice, Shard Storm, and Invocation of the Ice Storm. Is that a unique spell list? Or is it a combination? It actually looks like it's a unique spell list for her. Okay, well let's have a look at these. Law of Winter Rage. It's got Chill Blast, which is, I believe it's like that, which is actually a spell from the Law of Dark Magic, Chill Wind. See that there? Because you can't really create, you can create new spells, but the effects you can't create new ones, I don't think. Storm Strike. Channeling mighty flows of magic into a howling gale of cold. Anyone between the caster and his target is slashed by wind-whipping ice shards. That's a breath spell. Okay. Oh, that's like oh, what's that? Law of Wind. That's a wind. Is that Law of Heavens? Yeah, that's Wind Blast. Yep. Wind Blast is a pretty good spell. Ice Shards. Sharp icicles spring from the mage's hand in the direction of the target, causing multiple wounds as they pierce and impale their target. That's a Law of High Magic spell, Soul Quench. At least the video, and I assume the effect is. So, also the damaging. All the stats of it can be changed. This video, they can't add new videos, but the spells are different. You can see this adds Frostbite, as well as Storm Strike. Where Wind Blast doesn't actually add Frostbite, so they can change the spells, but as I said, they can't really change the effects, I don't think. Ice Shards, Biting Wind, a furious blizzard stirs up around the enemy target, stopping them in their tracks. The troops are temporarily immobilized by the strong winds and biting cold, rendering them unable to move and causing severe damage. Now this shows it affecting a air unit, the dragon there, because it's based off Tempest, the video, which can only affect air targeted flying. However, this spell has been changed. Ground affects enemies in range, so we'll have the huge randomly moving area of effect. So it's more of a massive vortex now than casting on a single air unit like that. Hellstorm. Caster channels ice magic upwards, forming large chunks of ice that fall to the ground with horrifying speed. That's the Comet of Cassandora. Boom. We have Ice Blizzard. A swirling flurry of snow and ice rises from the land, freezing and blinding all in its path. Which... Strong versus multiple combatants, chance opponents will resist damage. Weak versus a single combatant, minus 10% speed and plus 30 ability recharge. Greater effect on ability cooldown. Minus 30... Oh, it goes from minus 10% speed to minus 30% speed. And it's plus 45 ability recharge. So it's just like freezing enemies and making them really cold. Then we have Law of Northern Witchering. Shield of Cold, plus 30% damage resistance, plus 25 melee defense. Added area of effect for Overcast, that's very nice. And it adds armor too. That's very good. Frostblade. Sparkling Blade of Ice forms in the target's hand, a powerful magical weapon. Plus 30% armor piercing damage, plus 20 melee attack. Overcasting it gives plus 50% armor piercing damage. And plus 30 melee attack. Crisping Cold. An unnatural cold invigorates friendly forces, making their movements faster and more accurate. Plus 20% speed, plus 20% charge speed, and plus 20 reload skill. Extended effect duration and added effect area for overcasting. So that's good for cavalry or mounted archers. Shattering Frost. A sudden frost strikes the target, shattering its armor and turning it to crumbling glass. Got 2 phases. Phase 1. Minus 50% speed, minus 30% physical resistance, minus 50% charge speed, minus 25 armor. Phase 2 just lowers speed and charge speed, but not by as... Overcasting it extends the effect duration. Also, minus 40% physical resistance. And, minus 30 armor. Minus 25 armor, so an extra 5 points of armor are taken off. And it lasts for longer, too. 50 seconds, 10 seconds. 30 seconds, 10 seconds. Okay. The air within the vicinity freezes for the duration of the spell. For Phase 1, cannot move. Phase 2, minus 20 melee defense and minus 30 melee attack. Overcasting it. Phase 1, cannot move for 30 seconds. And Phase 2, minus 40 melee attack and minus 30 melee defense for 30 seconds. These are very good spells. Blinding Blizzard. Rapid snow blizzard emerges in the enemy's ranks, causing low visibility. Okay, a spell good against spellcast ranged units. Minus 50% range, 60% visibility range, minus 50% accuracy, minus 20 reload skill for 30 seconds. And minus 20% range and minus 30% visibility range for 10 seconds. Phase 2. And the same as the other ones. If you overcast it, it just lasts longer and it increases the reduction by a bit. Minus 70% accuracy. Ow. Okay. Well, I'm sold on those spells. Those are really good. Though, they're both on the one mage. So you either focus on one or the other, or you have to split points between them, which means you either get one law, and then you have to wait until you get the other law, or you have to get both of them at the same time, which means you'll be getting the later spells slower. Oh, we also haven't seen the passives. Unnatural Cold. Minus 20% speed. Melee attack, charge speed, and melee defense. Constant around self while casting? Sure. Okay, so whenever you cast for 30 seconds, they get minus 20 melee attack and defense? That's pretty damn good. I just cast a spell and it freezes all of the enemies. And it reduces their melee attack and defense by 20. That's good. Oh, and passive for Winter's Rage is minus 30% magic resistance, map wide, around self. That's a bit more... That's still pretty good, but it's not for 30 seconds. And it's only for the length of time I'm casting. So if I get that and I cast like Chill Blast, it will do more damage to them. At least while I'm casting it. Soul Stone. Power Familiar. My state of consciousness. Physical resistance 25%. Unfathomable presence. Sublime focus. Really? They can become really, really good mages. Oh, they don't get channeling though. They don't get ability where they can like raise magic thingies. Magic points during a battle. Okay, we can get a mount, a warhorse, and a barded warhorse, and a ice pegasus. Okay. Cool. Can you get a mount? No. Okay. So the priests of Ursun are always on foot. Let's get Imperial University would have been good before I recruited the hero. I'm kind of tempted to disband you, but in 6 turns, nah. You also give +4 province stability. Oh, and I didn't move my heroes. Oh well. I got too caught up in reading all the spells. I had to learn them myself, so. Those are new spell laws added for Kislev specifically. Hey, there's Mazdamundi! He's not still on his Harlequin. He's not actually on oh, what's his mount called? Zlak, I think it is. Nope, there he goes. Lord Mazdamundi is a powerful spellcaster, of course, because he's a second spawning Slan, I think, which is pretty damn good. It means he's the most powerful living Slan in the Warhammer world, and probably possibly the most powerful living spellcaster. He's not the most powerful spellcaster. That would be Lord Croak, but Lord Croak is sadly bereft of life. Kind of. His body may be dead, but his spirit is still with us. If you play as the Lizardman, you can actually get a quest to discover where Lord Croak is, so you can get access to him as a hero who annihilates armies as a side project. Or if you start as Gorok, a free lord which was added a little bit back, who starts in Itza, you start with Lord Croak, and I believe his items. Lord Croak he has like one spell. It's what's it called? Deliverance of Itza. And it's got 3 levels. And each level is just more powerful than the last. It just annihilates units. And it's still not as powerful as it's supposed to be. I mean, he's so powerful. When he died, he was just like, nah, I don't want to die. And he's still around because he decided he doesn't want to. So. Oh, hello, Vanaheimlings. Oh, it's Throg. More of the champions, great axes, marauders with great weapons, Ice Wolf Chariot, Marauder Chariot, Horseman. No skin walls! I'm impressed. You're showing restraint. Oh, you just raised Bear Blades. Okay, you didn't want to take it back or anything. Just want to raise it. Go on to retreat, Zakar. War declared. Tor Elithus refugees in Haganeth. Okay, that's not really any loss. It wasn't doing much for me. Ties that bind. Carry out a successful assassination, wound, or kill of a character belonging to any of the following enemies of Ostland. Puppets of Chaos, Warherd of Chaos, Vanaheimlings, Warriors of Chaos, the Cabal. I get an enchanted shield and diplomatic relations +5 with Ostland. Yeah. Can't be bothered. Hey Lord Mazdamundi, how's it going? Have your Cobra Mace. Talisman of Preservation, 20% ward save. Scroll of Aramar. Eternity Warden? Oh, that's a new lord, I think. Yeah, I haven't actually seen that one. Was that Mercatan? And this one, Chakax. Eternity Warden. Are you a stalwart temple guard? Has defended the mage priests of the City of Mists in their seclusion in the Battle of Millennia. That might be a unique hero added by Mixu's mod. Key to the Eternity Chamber. Inlaid with intricate wards that slows the passage of time, allowing the bearer to fight at the same speed as his opponents and to dodge blows with ease. Okay. Unique character? He has a unique item, but I can't see what it is. We should let you do that. There's some Carmelian skinks there as well. Okay. Keep going down here. And we encounter Itza. Marcus Wolfheart around here somewhere? Doesn't look like it. I think he's long gone. Leonise is still here.
Of the Phoenix Crown.
The High Elf armies. I don't know where they've gone. Marienburg's been razed. Marienburg's been razed. That's incredibly tempting to go and take.
Lady of the
I might go and do that. Because Marienburg is a very profitable city. It's like Ehrengrad. If I could take it, chances of me taking it are very slim. The Empire's probably already got an army to come and resettle it, but I could get Ehrengrad. Money, money. Tower crack. What do you got? You got a lot of infantry. I don't really want to recruit more units into your army.
Yes, my lord.
Victor Bebchuk, go up there. You can reinforce him. Where's those warriors of chaos? They're going up to Krakadrak. Go have a look.
My Sigma's right. Moving off.
Oh, oh, there they are. Hey, it's Asafar. Well, I wish it was.
To the provinces.
There's a chaos champion called Asafar Cool, which would be neat if it was added. This is just a guy called Asafar. Chaos Warriors, Hellbirds, Chaos Warriors, Chaos Marauders, Chaos Knights, Marauder Horsemen, and Hell Cannon. Lovely. Kagan Festerhearts there. Kaz Snore, a Wargul. It's just wandering around.
Raise Sigma.
Okay, fine. Oh, and we can move our heroes
I have
up.
seen your heart.
Now, whose army do I want to add you to? I will get rid of one of the units of Gospodar Axemen.
Who calls?
And I will add the Ice Witch.
I will be rewarded.
And I might get rid of one of the units of crossbows. Maybe. Oh, you already have a Boyar.
Yes, my lord.
So I'll actually get rid of that unit of Gospodar Spearmen.
The Empire.
I'll replace you with Dmitry Boyarin.
By the comet.
Mercy Putris. Okay, fine. Can I build walls here? I can build an outpost garrison. But I won't be able to build it in time. And it costs a lot too, because it's an uninhabitable region. I can build a blacksmith here. Chaos Corruption is actually getting to be a problem here. Let's build a shrine to Ursun. It's because of this Volksgrad with the ruin which the Beastmen left. It's raising the corruption in the region dramatically. Also, because I no longer control the entire province, I can't have it on foster independence to lower Untainted. Do you not lower Untainted? You should. Untainted +3. And you? Untainted +1. So you're lowering Untainted by 4. Characters 14. Technology 2. Local population 2. Characters, it's increasing it by 15. Okay. Buildings and commandments 2. And events 1. Well, the event is the Chaos Invasion. Buildings and commandments, that would just be from their army being present. The buildings in the Chaos Horde increasing corruption. And characters 15. Kagan Festerheart increases it by 2. You stimulate growth. So you're not increasing corruption. Asavar must be increasing corruption by a huge amount. 13. Okay. Even though Volksgrad is raised and it's not my province anymore, it still affects Prague. So even though they're over here in a region which I don't control, they're still increasing corruption in Prague. This region is connected. Now, what's the corruption going to be here like? 16. Okay, it's going down actually.
Defender of the Phoenix Throne.
Gladly.
You gotta go over there. Sakona. Vambraces of defense. And a Mage of Heavens. Well, you just focus on your little war over there. I've moved you. And I want to move you. I can increase your level. Specialist. Let's have a look at Sudenburg. And the Black Tower of Aachen. This is actually the Black Tower of Aachen over here. This weird spike thing. At least I believe it is. Siegfried von Stroll. Biermann, Rupert Narhelm, and Curtis von McHammer. He has German blood and also Scottish blood, apparently. Curtis von McHammer. That's ridiculous. Some of it's pretty ridiculous. There's an empire. You can find empire characters, and they're called like von Volkmann, which is. I'm sorry. I've derailed my own train of thought. It's ridiculous names. Okay. von Volkmann. What'd that even be? Don't know. I don't know what Van and Von are for their thing is. Volk just means like people. Whatever. Let's have a look at the mini-map. Anything changing? The Empire gonna absorb more of the world? They're gonna retake Ehrenkrad? Doesn't look like they have. Dwarves haven't taken anything that I can see. Clan Agrund, I can't see. Greenskins? Nope. Empire counts. Oh. Bretonnia. It's kind of funny. It's like half of Bretonnia is taken by the Empire, and they're not at war with each other. The Empire is such an opportunistic sod. They're like, oh, hey, Bretonia, you're being attacked by Skaven, and your cities are just getting destroyed. Here, I'll help you, and I'll colonize your cities afterwards. Finders keepers. I called dibs. Carcassonne is now mine. What are you going to do about it? It would be funny if there was like a penalty to lead. Not funny. It would be interesting or neat if there was a penalty to diplomatic relations if you held a city or village which was traditionally owned by another faction. We could extend on that idea a little bit, and also say if a region has a history of conflict over it because multiple claims are taken for that settlement, then the factions involved could all have negatives because they're all wanting to own the province themselves. Architect. Okay. Grey herds come. Oh, great. More beastmen. Over here, though, so I don't have to bother about them. I'll move you over to there. I don't want to sit out here because you'll get attrition from the high seas or deep water.
I acquiesce to your request.
Sailing in the Warhammer universe is not the safest venture because there are things like this. Large sea monsters which like to eat ships, as well as pirates, but I think the pirates is the lesser of the two threats there. What's your army? Chaos Warriors, Hell Cannons, Chaos Trolls, Chaos Spawn. Chaos Trolls are just basically like normal trolls, as far as I can tell. I don't think there's any difference. They might have a bit more armor, I'm not too sure. Chaos Spawn are monsters of mutated chaos. These altered beasts rain savage blows upon the foe. Chaos spawns are what happens when someone gets too many blessings of the Chaos Gods, or they're just disliked by the Chaos Gods, or I don't know, something else random happens, and they end up mutating beyond recognition to a massive blob of tentacles, claws, and mouths with little mind other than killing. They're unbreakable, because they don't have enough mind to know fear. They have very low armor. They have very good attack. And since they're unbreakable, they will just keep attacking until they're killed.
To the provinces. Raise Sigma.
They're actually, I believe, a lot better in this game than they were on the tabletop. I believe in the tabletop, Chaos Spawn had random movement, which meant they were extremely unpredictable. And if you took them, you were sort of at the whim of the dice as to whether they would move towards the enemy and attack them, or whether they'd just wander around and do nothing. So I don't believe they were much... They were considered that useful to take. Do I want to attack you? Shushku is up there. Ooh, he's actually got a bit of a better army than the previous ones. He's got Goreherd with great weapons. That's a new unit added by the extended army's beastmen. Previously, Gors only have 2 axes, or 2-hand weapons, and shields and axes. Now they have some with great weapons. It's got 2 units of Centaurs. I'm ignoring all the Ungors, Chaos Warhounds, and 1 unit of Minotaurs. A ferocious hunger drives axe-wielding Minotaurs into the melee. Hunger for war and hunger for flesh. Minotaurs are nasty. They have blood greed. Constant in melee on self. Plus 15 leadership and immune to psychology. I might have mentioned a few times immune to psychology and things like fear. There's abilities units have, which... Okay, there's 2 abilities units can have, fear and terror. Terror is a stronger version of fear. What fear does is it reduces the leadership of units nearby because, oh, that unit is really scary, and so it makes units more likely to flee. All undead have fear. Particularly scary units have terror, which, rather than causing leadership to be reduced, which I believe it does do, it also can cause units to just flee. In the tabletop, that was the case. fear would just lower leadership or your, what's it called, your leadership role. You had to take a penalty. And terror could actually cause units to flee rather than be charged by that unit. I think. In this, being charged by a terror-causing unit can actually cause a unit to just flee for a period of time rather than hold their ground. I'm not sure whether it doesn't always happen, and it might have to happen if their leadership is lower. I'm not too sure on how terror works in Total War Warhammer. But immune to psychology, what that means is, like it says, the unit is immune to psychology, either because they are stoic, they are crazed beyond caring, but they will not actually be affected by fear or terror. For the Minotaurs, where are they? Over here. For the Minotaurs, with Blood Greed, plus 15 leadership and immune to psychology, they will be immune to psychology as long as their leadership is not broken. If their leadership is broken, they lose that benefit. And it might not come back. I'm not too sure if they rally. I think it might actually come back. Other units will have, like, this one here, Primal Fury. That gives immune to psychology as long as a unit's leadership is above 50%. If their leadership drops below 50%, they become affected by fear or terror. Frenzied units are the same. If they have frenzy and they start losing combat, then they will actually become susceptible to fear and terror. Don't think I actually have any frenzy units. Centaurs have something also. I think, no, Rowdy is different. It increases their leadership and gives them perfect vigor. It doesn't actually affect their psychology state. They do have Primal Fury though. Hatred is just a general increase to melee attack.
To the provinces.
Do any of these units have it? No. And these? No. No. Okay. I think I might have units which have Frenzy. I think I would guess my Warbears have Frenzy. The Armored Warbear. Rampage. No, he doesn't have Frenzy. Orcs of Miska doesn't have Frenzy. Sons of Urson don't have Frenzy. Griffin Legion wouldn't, but they're immune to psychology, Griffin. Okay, well, so yeah. It's neat. Like, dragons have terror. Some monsters, like trolls, cause fear. Do I want to attack these Chaos Warriors? I think it might also be a thing that if they have Unbreakable... never mind. Gotta say, if they have Unbreakable, they might not actually be able to get Frenzy. But I don't actually know.
Yes, my lord.
I will attack with Boris.
Yes.
So you will reinforce.
We march. What?
There's only the one Chaos Army, and if I attack them, I will have the benefit of picking my fight. Constant self, plus 4 leadership. 72, 82. Oriaska don't have Frenzy. No, they got Death Blow. You'd think they would, considering that they don't have shirts on. Okay. We should actually be able to win this battle pretty easily. I will play it though, just so that we can see the Chaos units. And also because I'm itching for a fight. Ugh. You'll get to see the Chaos spawn. And the Chaos Trolls. And I have to deal with that Hell Cannon quickly. Even though we just recruited our Ice Mage, our Ice Witch, she will have a spell. Or 2? She might have 2 spells, because she's got 2 laws. They tend to start with just their base spell. But then you have to put a point into it to advance further in your trees. In your spell trees. Hell Cannon. The Hell Cannon artillery has a deadly sentience, firing bolts of eldritch fury over great distances. I remember the Hell Cannons being used as a defensive turret for the destruction bases in Warhammer Online. Used to be able to man them and shoot the enemy with them. About the only way I was able to kill anyone or deal damage to anyone. I always played as a Chaos Chosen in that. I had fun with that game. It's a shame it dropped off as it did. Divided on large numbers. The Chaos Warriors, the Chaos Knights, sorry, are going to be kind of a problem. They're nasty. And these ones are armed with swords, not spears, lances. There's generally two types of melee cavalry in this. There's ones armed with swords, and there's ones armed with lances. The ones with lances are more there for the charge. They deal more damage when they hit a unit, and I believe they tend to be anti-large because the lancers are good at piercing monstrous units. The ones with swords are more designed to get into melee and stay in melee and chop up the enemy. There's not always a variation though. The High Elf Silver, what's it called? Silver Helms only have the lancers. Okay, you can go there. Stalgrad Militia, you can go, I don't know, on the flank over there. Maybe you can draw someone to attack you. Go there. You go there. Droyaska, you can go behind them. Crazy sods. Jotzi, you can line up on the hill here. Have you got a good view there? This hill is kind of pathetic, really. Where's the slope? It's not really a slope. I mean, there's a slope over here. There's a bit of a hill over there. Why can't they just give us a hill? Position there.
The Empire endures.
Position there.
The Empire
Position like that.
Swordsman.
Droyaska. Go there. Streltsy. You're gonna be in the trees. But that's fine.
Ready to fire.
Crossbows.
Handgunners.
Like, angle slightly that way. Because I bet that cavalry is going to cover around our flanks. Not that. Not that. There we go.
Crossbows ready, General.
Crossbows, go behind them. Do the same.
Crossbowmen.
That way, we have a good
We are Sigmar's
angle of
heirs.
fire. There. Mortar, go back there. Then go over here. Bunch up like that.
Awaiting
Boris,
orders.
go into center there.
My orders stand.
Boya, go over there. Or Alexei. Victoria, Goraya. You can go there. What do you have? You have Shield of Cold. You also have Ice Shards. Magic Missile. They are the darkest winter, the coldest ice, and the cruelest blizzard, and few can bear their presence for long.
The Heldenhammer. Send us out.
Okay, and we have our Ungol Horse Archers. So say, celebrated as some of the finest light cavalry in the old world, these warriors are fierce and reckless in battle, lacking the discipline that comes from military training. So I assume they have lower leadership.
Ready to engage.
Hey, it's our priest of Ursun. Get up there.
We are Sigmar's.
You're mounted. So go with them. Spears, run up. Oh, jeez. Oh, they're actually waiting for us to attack them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I didn't actually think of that, considering, you know.
Let us go.
Actually, we should be able to draw them out to attack us. Mortar, get up there. The other mortar also move up. Cavalry, move over there. You
To battle.
go there.
Now.
Joltsy, go behind you.
Quick march.
Crossbows, go behind you.
Galmaraz.
Mortar, go there. You go there. You can go up there with them. Actually, you know, I don't really want you to attack those.
Yes, sir. Quickly.
Yeah, they hit their own unit with a spell. Good job!
Formation march.
Got hit with Plague of Rust. Nah, that's fine. You've got barely any armor anyway.
Sir, for the Warhammer.
Plague of Rust is a metal spell which reduces the amount of armor a unit has. Yep, look, our mortars has actually started firing and caused them to start charging us. Oh, Droyaska. Go over there. But their hell cannon is continuing to fire on us. That is not good. Okay. Charge that hell cannon, take it out. They've only got one. Just shoot it. Oh. Move! You're being attacked by magic. Okay, just charge it. There's a bit of a waste casting that spell on my horse archers, but whatever. We can see the Chaos Dwarves in the unit, actually. Here's the Chaos Dwarf models. They have horns, and they have those cool pleated beards. And they have little tusks. Though they're only lightly armored. Casting Plague of Rust on them. You really hate that cavalry, don't you?
We are ready.
Oh. Chaos Knights have decided to attack us.
Power of the lady!
Spearmen.
You move back here.
Warhammer.
I think they're actually dealing with those guys pretty well. Oh. Here comes some more cavalry.
Swordsman.
Droyaska,
For Heldenhammer.
move over there.
Mortar.
There's a bit of a problem resulting.
Swordsman. Ready to fire. Swordsman. Ready for war. We serve the Emperor. Attack. Ready.
Get in there.
By Sigmar's will. Quicker. Sir. Swordsman. Handgunners. On our way.
Shoot those trolls,
We
please.
are Sigmar's heirs.
Shoot Asavar.
Fire! For Heldenhammer.
Oh, they were all the horsemen.
Take the ground.
Shoot them.
The Empire endures. Empire marksman. Great march. Swordsmen, go. Attack. Crossbows ready, General. For the comet, ready. Shoot them. Powder dry. Shoot them. Battle awaits.
Yield true power! At once!
do that. Commentary is light because I'm concentrating. Because I'm getting charged every which way with cavalry.
Don't misfire! Sir! Loaded, sir! Sigma, call!
Okay. It's over there.
On our way!
You're fleeing yet.
We serve the Emperor!
Be nice if you were. There we go.
Endure! Handgunners!
Shoot those chariots. That could have gone a bit better, but
Swordsmen! Handgunners!
chariots count as large, so our Stropsy are actually pretty good against them.
Yes, sir! Our steeds are restless! I see much!
Oh, we can actually see our ice witch. Very cool.
Hurry!
Ice shards.
My lady, grant me
Whoa.
sight.
Bam. Oof.
Waiting command!
Such unholy resilience.
March as one!
We don't forgive.
Yes.
To battle!
The warriors of chaos are sore losers. Keep shooting them. Wait, you don't want any of them to escape. Well, few of them to escape. Actually, also shoot Asafar, because he's like level 5? Something like that.
To the Empire!
They just charge the units. You can
Hammers ready!
deal with him
Hammers
immediately
ready!
or whatever.
Sigma calls!
There you go. It's a filling full of arrows!
So be it. So be it.
We didn't actually get to see Chaos Spawn, did we? Where were they? I suppose they charged my lines. Yeah, there they are. There's some of the Chaos Spawn. Dead on the ground. Nasty things.
Ready for war!
How many kills did Boris get? 26 kills. I was going to say 1 kill, but he did good. Keep going until we kill Asafar. I'm still so sad it's not Asafar cool. There we go. Okay. End battle. Decisive victory. We can just recover the losses. We didn't lose actually that many. We lost maybe about 400 troops and defeated an army which was about half as many as we have. But yeah. I mean, the Warriors of Chaos, they lack range. Their hell cannons are nasty. Their Marauder Horsemen are pretty good, but they're lightly armored, so you can tend to outshoot them. They're more used as harassing, or harassment. The powerful range of the Warriors of Chaos is mostly from their magic. Laws of Fire. They other than that, they don't actually have any ranged. They're not a ranged army. They're all about tough melee infantry. The Hell Cannon and the Marauder Horsemen are kind of an oddity in that regard. They have anything else? Not unit-wise. Hero-wise, as I said, spellcasters. Don't think they actually have. If they could get Horse Masters, then that might be the other thing. But that might just be Norska. If they get a Chaos Dragon as a mount, that also has a Flaming Breath attack, which is ranged, but count. That's an ability. The Chaos Trolls barely killed anything. 0 and 4. The Chaos Knights didn't actually kill too much either. 31 and 7. We didn't really give them a chance to get stuck into our weaker ranged unit. Most kills, aside from the Hell Cannon, goes to a unit of Chaos Warriors, which got completely destroyed. They had 40 kills. Pretty impressive. Must have been up against Gospodar Spearmen. I like the look of the Chaos Warriors with the heavy armor, the big bird cloak, and their massive slab of metal shield. I do like the Chaos Warrior look over the Chosen, because the Chosen lack the cloak. I feel like they need it. It kind of makes them look a bit small without it. All the Chosen units don't cloak, which the Warriors do. I suppose it's because they don't need it. Kind of beyond feeling cold. If they wear it because they feel cold. It's more just because the model didn't have it. But at least I assume. Don't actually know. Oh, my Ice Mage got 1 kill. My Ice Witch got 1 kill. What did you kill? You must have maybe clipped a unit with the Ice Bolt you shot. Because you didn't kill Asafar. Unless one guy ran over to you and you cut him down. Well done. One unit got no kills. Oh well. They were reserved. "46 kills on the Unbreakable unit. Regiment of Renown there. 58 kills on 1 unit of Streltsy. Streltsy didn't actually take any casualties. I thought one of them got charged by cavalry. Kind of impressive. 45, 42 and 58. I suppose benefiting from that ward save which Boris gives them. Only 9 kills for the mortar. It was probably me moving my army around at the beginning which caused them to not to get that many kills. They were constantly having to push their mortar around into new positions. There we go. Oh yeah, look at their army. Barely anything left. 47, 35 and 12. Pardon captives? Is... Chaos, we won't pardon them? What is this? Confident attacker.
I will marshal.
So, we've got that Beastman army up there as well. I would like to destroy this army completely. If I move you there, you'll be able to march back, perhaps?
Praise Sigmar.
What have they got? And they're not actually that strong. The Minotaurs are scary, but only on their own like that. They're not really that big of a problem. Clear up that army. Warriors of Chaos are destroyed. Bold. This one is no Craven. Charge bonus +2. Leadership +3. Valet. Kislevite Kossar. The Gunnison Kron. Fortunately, this volume, containing every sleight made against the dowry on the high seas, has been made with runes of waterproofing. Physical resistance 7%. Income from post-battle loot +10%. That's a nice find.
By the comet.
Can I give that to you? What's that? That's an enchanted item, is it? No? Armor? Yeah, it's armor. I don't want to get rid of the armor of Urson. Give you a kiss to the white Kossar.
Yes.
Oh, I can't move you across the river now. Too far.
The
Oof.
nation calls.
Well,
To battle.
I'll move you to there.
The nation calls.
And I'll move you
We march.
there.
By Sigma's
And
right.
I will garrison you? Do I want to try and ambush you? What's the ambush rate here? 40%. Nah, it's not worth trying. And they're beastmen. They're in beast paths. A number of factions, Skaven, Beastmen, Dwarves, and Wood Elves have special movement abilities. Beastmen have beast paths, which allow them to go from one location over here to, say, a location over here, and just go whoop, ignoring terrain in between. They essentially teleport from here to here. If they do so within range of my armies, however, I get a chance to intercept them, and the choice whether I want to engage them in combat or not. Sorry, get Shield of Cold to overcast it. Hold the line, and Boris can get... Oh, he gets Frenzy from Mark of the Bear God. So he gets Mark of the Bear God, but he also gets Unbreakable. So I suppose that would mean he'd get Frenzy permanently, because his leadership would never be lower than 50%. Or his leadership would just never drop, because he's unbreakable. Prague can fend for herself, at least if they decide to siege the city.
I will marshal the men.
Tower of Crack. Corruption's going up. Oh, you settled Bay of Blades. Hey, and you have the Wintertooth crown item now. Whether by the crown's own properties or by the grace of the dark gods, all things bestial and savage obey the wearer. Melee defense +10. Chance of intercepting an army using the underway, beast paths, or world route. +10%. Chaos corruption +5. Local province. Recruitment cost -10%. And the Wintertooth's crown. For 24 seconds, affects allies in range for 40 meters and on stealth, unbreakable.
I will marshal the men.
That is quite good. Why is our income so low? I was getting like 2,000. Why is it so low now? Taxes, raid. Are we being raided somewhere? No, 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 no.
These are dark times.
You're on land again. I don't like that.
I'm all for it. It's just a crew that I'm best pleased.
Whatever. I'm worried that you're going to attack me.
Proud daughter of Athel.
Why is my... Is it because the enemy have been, Oh? I mean, Altdorf is a port city, so I wouldn't have lost trade with Altdorf. Marienburg's taken by Bretonia. Great.
Lady of the Glade at
Go back. Leonese is being sieged by Albrecht de Bordello.
How wise.
Well, looks like the High Elves aren't going to be expanding into Bretonnia anytime soon. Not the heroes which I recruited. They only have like an upkeep of 200 per turn. Or whatever.
By the comet.
Oh, you have a Hellstorm rocket battery. An erratic flurry of explosive airborne destruction. Hellstorm rockets are extremely powerful, with extremely unreliable weapons from the Empire's arsenal. I believe they're called Hellstorm because the commander which was overlooking the testing of them nearly got hit by the rockets, and the flurry of explosives which came from it was called a Hellstorm. Outriders, archers. Yep. We'll move you down here. Temple of Telenkan. And that's a different god. Temple of Itzul. Sacrifices to the triple-horned ruler of the Lizardmen, Itzul, ensures blessing upon those wishing to master the mighty Horned Ones. Horned Ones being a particularly nasty variant of Cold Ones. Cold Ones are like raptors. They're used as cavalry by the Lizardmen, so Horned Ones are horned raptors the size of horses, or bigger than horses. Yak Talon. This is a Croxigore Ancient. Monstrous strength. Fools brace themselves for the impact. Realists get well out of the way. Okay. Oh, Bretonnia controls Karak Ziflin. Okay. There's a dwarf faction usually there. And we can actually see here a bit, depending on the faction which controls a province, at least for the High Elves, Bretonnia, and the Empire, depending on which one controls a province, the trees change. You can see here, when Bretonians control a province, or region, the trees are all like oak trees. High Elves, there's sort of this mixture of like, I suppose, pine trees and maybe birch trees and oak trees. They have this like blended color with them. Where the Bretonnia is just like oak trees and it's all green. And the Empire, when the Empire control all the trees, they tear out all the oak trees and replace them with pine trees, apparently. So it's just a little bit of flavor. If the greenskins control a province, you get like little mushrooms growing everywhere. The trees are a lot sparser. The same happens, I think, if the vampire counts control a province. All the trees go to pine trees, but everything gets all sickly looking and the ground goes all grey because of the corruption. Anyway, I don't want to save on that. They're not making any money. What happened to all my money? Who am I trading with? It'll be a real trouble if my trading allies drop off, because most of them, I'm actually staying afloat because of them. Currently, I'd have to cut back on my armies a bit. Is there anyone else I can trade with? Hey, Hexodal.
My schemes tell me you seek audience.
Well, you're not interested in trade, so nope, sorry. Sorry for bothering you. We could trade with Tyrannok, but they're not actually very happy with us. Neither is Krace. Ostermark?
Come then.
I know we were at
Only
war with
Sigma's
each other
god
at one
Ulrich
point,
can
but...
judge it worthy or no.
All right.
Okay, you actually accept that. Barrack farm.
Lad? And what can the Dawi do for you on this fine
We can get a
day?
non-aggression pact. No, we can't. Okay, forget that. Forget I said anything. Hey, Nagaron.
Death lurks behind every syllable. Speak.
Trade?
You dare.
The strong take what they want, while the weak choke on their own blood. Okay, fine. Bretonia.
Light of the... Do you wish the lady's favor?
Trade agreement?
I will not.
No, I fear this will end in tears. Okay, fine. I think I'll be gaining a lot of money from that. If only they'd accept. We're making like an extra 200 gold on the trade agreement I brokered with... Who was it? Ostermark. I might have mentioned when I started opening up trade with the Empire, but there's a bit of a side effect when you side effect issue when you start trading with the various elect accounts or the various smaller provinces of the Empire. Is that once the Empire faction starts confederating them, you lose all the trade partners because they all become part of the Empire faction. So just trade with the Empire, and you lose like Ostland, Ostermark, Auckland, Nordland. That's right, I had good trade agreements with Nordland, and then they confederated with the Empire, and my trade went down because Nordland wasn't around anymore. Sigh. I feel like there should be maybe a bit of a side effect to trading with some factions. If you trade with the Vampire Council, I feel like you should get low vampiric corruption in your port city or something, or just in your province or something. Same with if you trade with Skaven.
As a blade
Maybe.
of grass, and I will see your hovels razed to the ground.
Hovels. The Asur have much to offer. Oh, Tyrannok's actually wanting trade with us. That'll actually be quite profitable for them. They have exotic animals, wine, elven trinkets. We won't get furs and we won't get iron because we're actually already creating them. We will import elven trinkets, 672, as well as generic tariffs. Sure. I do also kind of wish that trade resources had more purpose to them. In this, there's not any difference between the different trade resources, I believe. They might have different values in how much money they generate, but they're not used in the construction of buildings. Unlike in, say, Rome 2 Total War, or, say, Shogun 2, where if you had access to the iron resource, or you were trading with someone who could give you iron resource, it would allow you to upgrade your blacksmiths, I think, to be able to get better troops because you're providing them with higher grade iron weapons. Or, you know, giving them better armor. And things like marble would lower the cost of buildings because you were getting construction materials. In Warhammer, trading resources with each other doesn't give you any benefit aside from a money amount. However, the structure itself, which... Antagonist. The structure itself, which generates a resource, like, say, Kislev has a tannery here for furs, you see it increases growth by +10. Also, the iron smelter over here in Fort Jakova gives me various benefits. It produces 45 ingots of iron, but at level 3 it also reduces upkeep for swordsmen, guards, greatswords, and knights. Reduced cost of recruitment, and it increases recruit rank for those units. I think that's faction-wide? Or that might only be the province. The upkeep is faction-wide, or all my armies.
Yes.
So, all my armies are a little bit cheaper when I have that. We also had the wood timber resource here, which gave us a benefit, a bonus, but
To the provinces.
we currently are not gaining any benefit of that because Volksgrad has been raised. Speaking of which, we'll colonize it again. We get landed estate. And you can move up there. I know the Beastmen army's still around, and this army now is taking casualties because they use them to colonize, but this will lower the corruption, and the Warriors of Chaos, the bigger threat, are no longer around, so it increased income from trade. How much is my trade? Taxes is more, so I may as well just use taxes rather than trade. Increase untainted, and also lower the chance of enemies being able to what's it called? Deal damage to my settlements. That's not very nice.
Get out! What's your problem?
You're my problem.
Yes, my lord.
Do I want to attack you?
I'm not stupid.
What does the Emperor bid?
The Empire.
We have Streltsy.
To the provinces?
We have Winged Lancers, which are anti-infantry. Bolgasgrad Rota are anti-large. Ungol Horse Archers.
Shut up!
You have a lot of Marauder Champions. And I believe you have a lot of Warhounds.
Get out!
What does the Emperor bid?
What's your problem?
Time.
Sure. Let's see if we can defeat him in combat.
The Empire.
Come on, don't you fail me now. I will give this Banner of Swiftness to the Bolgasgrad Rota. Okay. I mean, they've got good infantry. They're all champions. They have some chariots. But they're lacking in, like, heavy hitting monsters. They have Throg, but he's on his own, so. Oh, we're attacking at a crossing. Again, that might be my benefit. Well, I have ranged, so I can outshoot them. They do have shields, though. And we only have bows. We do have Streltsy, though, which are armor-piercing. They lack range. Except for their Marauder Horsemen and Horsemasters, but forget them. Our cavalry won't be very useful. Unless I break one of their flanks, and then I can charge them across the river. There was a river crossing there? Really? I suppose there was. I think there was a river going from the mountains nearby to the sea. Very small one. I mean, we won't be able to beat them with just our melee. They might think that we're weakened. They might push across the river. That would actually be in my advantage, I think. Because then they would have to come to me. And I would gain the advantage of fighting them on flat terrain, which would allow me to use my cavalry better. Okay. Where are they? Okay, what's their armies like? You're holding with that there, and you're holding with this here. I mean... Okay. Yeah, they have rage. So they do get better in melee. But they're not berserkers, so...
Standing by!
They're not as scary as they could be.
For Heldenhammer!
Not Helden Hammer for Urson. Do that. Go over here. Go in the forest there. There we go. You. And you. Okay, they might actually try and attack me. I'm going to move my forces over here to focus on this one flank here. Do I want to charge my cavalry into melee with them? We have Tormentor Sword, and we have the Helm of Discord. I could actually do that. Doesn't lower their armor, but it lowers their melee defense and melee attack, and it would be basically nothing. Yes, it would. Well, melee defense would be like halved, and melee attack would be basically nothing. Yep. Oh, they're pushing across. Okay, actually, move up to this tree line up here.
Ready to battle. Very well.
Keep those units off our infantry.
Foes of the Emperor. For the Warhammer.
Norscan Ice Wolves. They have some missile resistance, but they're not anti-large or anti-infantry, so whatever. I'll just charge them. This is kind of adorable. There we go. Broken. Was there another unit here? I think there was, wasn't there? You actually move like that. And you move like that. And I want all of you to hold and go into that formation. Okay. Some ice walls over there again. We can just shoot them as they come through the forest line. Loose arrows. I would actually like you to shoot the Marauder Champions more than the Ice Walls. Those were basically on top of my units. Come around the flank. Where's their march? Did they? Oh. Ice Walls have rallied. No, they're broken. Okay, forget them. Come around like this. So you're not shooting the flank of my units. You're still going to get some friendly fire, but... Okay, we're hitting them in the rear now. Hello. Oh, you're Marauder Horsemen. We won't be able to chase you. Pull back. Oh no, you're being attacked. I took you off skirmish mode. Foolish me. Shoot that chariot. Shoot them. Actually, shoot Throg. He's kind of a big deal. Oh, the Ice Wolf chariot is ranged. I'd forgotten that. Pfft. So? Okay.
Formation march.
Charge! And don't charge the,
Now! Yes, sir. Quickly. General.
Oh, don't charge the, thingies. Chariots. Bam!
Hand gunners.
Throg's being a bit of a menace there.
For Heldenhammer.
Pull back.
Take the ground. No lingering. Formation march. By Ulrich's wrath. Battle awaits. Steady, men. Your orders.
Yeah! Oi, Throgs, run off.
Hand gunners. Yes, sir. On our way.
Oh no, they're my guys.
Orders.
Hey, victory. Well done, lads. Okay, stop shooting.
Yes, sir. Save ammunition.
You just end up shooting my cavalry as I charge them down.
Yes, General.
I think the gods are going to be pretty upset with you.
Our steeds are restless.
Oh yeah, look at the August Grand Rotter. Look at that. So majestic. I've got to really hand it to the modders. They've done a great job, especially with the restrictions which were placed on them.
Moving now. Our steeds are restless.
Well, restrictions. There's some difficulties with modding, importing new models, which is people are able to do, but anyway.
Our orders. Sir.
Get them all over there. Yeah, you did. What are you chasing? Oh, you just killed them all. Okay.
Emperor's might. Attack! Be gone, creatures. Listen up.
Oh, I didn't use any of his abilities. Oh dear. Oh well.
Await your orders. Yes, General. We serve the Emperor.
Well done, men. This day we dealt with Throg quite handily. Yeah, they barely killed. They just killed over 250 of us. They only had 67 remaining, and they were mostly wolves and warhounds. And their chariots, of course. Chariots with their armor and high speed tend to get away. They move quickly out of the range of the armor-piercing units, which can deal with them quickly. Frog got 20 kills. That was all my Streltsy. You can actually see that there. I think he got 20 of the losses which Victor Bebchuk suffered. My patrol armies are working quite well. These armies are purposely smaller because I've got them for this reason, pretty much. Moving around and dealing with enemies while my major forces are elsewhere. The idea was mostly just to have them as cavalry armies, but I tend to like to have some infantry in them as well, so the enemy have something to charge other than my cavalry. So my cavalry are more free to shoot the enemy army in the back while they're dealing with my infantry, which will pretty much be doomed, but... I like the idea of, what do you call it? Like patrol armies of cavalry. Works better in medieval too. Where you can have the army of cavalry and they will actually move faster because they're just made up of cavalry. Having infantry in them will slow them down. As I've said earlier, before, in one of the past streams, I don't know whether that's a thing in Warhammer Total War. Since I don't think having artillery slows the army down. And it doesn't mention anywhere whether it does or not. We're going for time. That's fine. You got the most kills on their army. 36 on one of their Marauder champions. 35 on one of their ones with the great weapon. Pretty impressive. I mean, kind of. Not really much for those units. I suppose getting charged multiple times in the back by cavalry would put a dampener on how effective you are in melee. Gain a fair amount of loot from that. And we can get nearly as much, or just over as much, if I pardon captives.
Pick up the pace.
Okay.
I
want you march to the Tower Crack. You march to there in Zoishank. There you go. And you're out of attrition. That's fine. I want you to get another level of Fervent to help lower corruption here even more.
Yes, my lord.
We've got those. You're moving back because Marienburg was taken back. Is Chaos like marching around in Middenland? Something? Oh, there's a full stack. Alistair the White Lion. Lion's Pelt. I believe he's a character created for someone during the production of Warhammer 2 as a sort of a, what's it called, like a wish foundation thingy. The Creative Assembly has done that quite a few times in their games. I think they did the same thing for Rome 2, one of the Roman generals. Nice thing to do. Albion's going fine. I want you to move down here. You see Tlaxlan and Teto Echo, which I believe is a legendary hero, a legendary lord created by the Mixu mod. With the Mixu mod, though we can't see anything. I believe he is a legendary lord skink priest. Anything else over here? I believe, actually, Ark the Black has been pushed back from the Sorcerer's Islands. I think they originally controlled that. They controlled that earlier, and Knights of the Flame have pushed them back. Oh! Knights of Origo have confederated with Bretonia. Oh, great. Bretonia is actually being quite... they actually are quite a powerful faction now. King Itabom. You see skeletons, warriors, and skeleton spears and all that. The undead devotees of the Tomb Kings have risen again, unswervingly loyal to their liege. Spears extend like gnarled and sharpened bones, held firmly in place by their deathly grip. Skeleton archers, these desiccated husks remember how to shoot a hail of endless death to thin the foe's number. Yes. Tomb Kings are unique amongst the Vampire Counts. Well, okay. The Vampire Counts faction don't have any range. Their skeletons they don't have bows. The Tomb Kings do have skeleton archers. It's because while they're undead, they're more mindful than the skeleton warriors of the Vampire Counts. Where the Vampire Count skeletons are, or undead, are too mindless to really know how to do much more than swing a sword. So, Vampire Counts make up for it in other ways. They have flying monsters and the like to deal with ranged units, as well as magic. The Tomb Kings also have magic, but their magic is more buffing. It's not so much... the Vampire Cat's magic has also got things like raising undead units and healing, where the Tomb Kings are more about buffing their units. They don't have raising undead, because they're not necromancers. Even though they are undead, the Tomb Kings are not very interested in dabbling in necromancy, because they don't actually like being undead. It wasn't their choice. Whereas the Vampire Counts are, well, they're necromancers by trade, because they want to make everyone undead. Or they're vampires themselves. Sort of a natural thing for them to be necromancers. Because it allows them to heal themselves, or their troops. Oh, the Cabal's destroyed. So much for Egrim von Horseman. Something happened to the Wood Elves?
We will see our homeland persist through all the coming ages of the world.
You'll pay me 1,000 gold for a non-aggression pact? I mean, why? I'm not likely to go to war with you. Sure, whatever. An extra 1,000 gold? Sure. I don't really... Okay, that's just out of nowhere. I'm not going to refuse. Anyone else want to throw money at me for a non-aggression pact or something? That would be nice. Is it because I'm like strength 1 or something? No, I can't be. The Empire would be strength 1 because they're freaking massive. I'm like strength 4 or 5, aren't I? We'll have to check that to see what my strength rating is compared to everyone else. Herd of Chaos, are they going to attack? I think they tried to attack me with one of their heroes. Puppets of Chaos. They're not attacking Albions, that's fine. If those are the ones in the north. I forget which Chaos factions appears in the north. The Cabal has been obliterated. Okay, well, you might think the Chaos invasion has been dealt with. Oh, hello! Tsushgu has gotten behind us. That would be because of their beast paths. They went whoop, and then they went whoop. So we're gonna have to hunt them down. Go over there. Deal with them. You hold Volksgrad. Actually, go back over to Prague as well. Can you actually attack them? Nope. Okay. Just go near them. If they run off again, maybe we'll be able to catch them. I don't think there's any more Chaos armies over here for the moment. There is, they'll just destroy Volksgrad, and it wasn't not that big of a loss, because it's not even a city at the moment. Or a town.
I will marshal the bed. It is for the best.
Go there again. Do that. Victor Bebchuk should actually be in there because he doesn't have any cavalry.
The Empire.
Zakapashin, you can go. I don't really know. You can just encamp there. Those pirates. What are you doing wandering around my provinces? You're not raising vampiric corruption, so I suppose it's fine. Just don't attack me. Oh, we can actually see Albion without Chaos Corruption in it now. It's basically all swamp. Doesn't cause attrition though. Yeah, it's swamp terrain, but it doesn't cause attrition. Interesting. We're not immune to swamp, are we? Where do I check that? No, we're only resilient to snow attrition. Okay, maybe they forgot to put attrition for this place, or maybe they didn't put it because it would be too much. Other places, like over here,
To the provinces.
there's swamp right next to us here.
Sound plan.
Or marsh, actually. There's swamp somewhere else? There's marsh there as well. Where's some swamp? Over here? No, that's vampiric corruption. Vampiric corruption. Not there. Nah, okay, whatever. Okay, fine, we're fine, whatever. Maybe there's a difference between swamps and marsh. Oh, hello. Hey, it's Teclis. The High Elves are coming back with a vengeance. Albrecht is going to have to defend against 2 armies. Here's Teclis. He's the premier spellcaster of the High Elves. It's the Sword of Teclis. This sword, created by Teclis, is charged with crackling energy that rends apart those struck by its shining blade. He has War Crown of Saphri. Seldom seen outside the walls of the White Tower, the War Crown was given to Teclis by the former High Lord Master and holds great power. The White Tower is here. In the White Tower of Hoeth. Well, it is the White Tower of Hoeth in the province of Safri. I kind of wish Safri looked like it did in Warhammer Online. In Warhammer Online, Safri had aqua-coloured trees. And it looked very magical. It'd be nice if they did that in this. I really liked how that... We'll move you down. Let's see if we can see Itza. Gortehe. Zlanhuapek. Zlanhuapek. That's actually held by the Cult of Sotek. They're still around? Okay. The Cult of Sotek is headed by Tehenuin. Oh, okay. The Empire's razed Skavenblight to the ground. So much for Ikit Claw and Clan Scryer. Oh, they don't hold Magritta either anymore. I assume they're still in Zaraxil. But does it look like the Clan Scryer is much longer for this world? Wow. The Empire's just on a warpath. They've gone through Helmgart. They took Paravon, then they took Quinellus, then they took Castle Carcassonne, then they took Bilbali, Tabaro, then Magritta, and now Skavenblight. That's got to march through all the way. We need an armory for those. Okay, get the Temple of Ursun. Yep, sure. And in turn. Oh, I forgot to move Mikhail. What do you see? You're moving along large tracts of desert, so there's not much for you to see. The Tomb King rebels and the springs of eternal life. Which, if I remember from the lore, are not as what they sound like. I believe they're poisoned and they just kill you if you drink from them. Like they used to be, but the Nagash happened. Well, we see the Necroc Brotherhood, as well as the Bowmen of Orion. The Wood Elves are one of the most elusive factions in the game. They're only in Athel-Loren, but since the release of the Mortal Empires campaign, Creative simply have added them in some other locations around the map. Namely, down here, in the Bowmen of Orion faction in a forest down here. As well as up in the Empire, in the Laurelon Forest. But they're not currently there anymore. The Empire got rid of them. I don't think there's any else in Nagarond or Lustria. Or is there? They had Wood Elves in Lustria in the last patch. Can't remember. Don't think so.
What could you possibly want?
Yeah, Marius Lector, what are you doing here? Military access. The wisdom of Verena guides us to cooperation. Why would you want military access? Nah. You do not want our aid, then so be it. The Necroc Brotherhood is a Vampire Counts faction. They're named after one of the vampires. What do you call it? Like vampire bloodlines of which there are 5, I think. There's the Von Carsteins, there's the Strigoi, there's the Blood Dragons? There's the Necrocs, and there's the Lamians. Von Carsteins are like, you know, the stereotypical vampires like Dracula and all that. Blood Knights are what they sound like. They're knights, which are also vampires. Strigoi are like the large bestial vampires. The Necrocs are like, no, they're like powerful mages. They look like desiccated corpses. And the Lamians are the sort of manipulator female vampires. Though there are male Lamians as well. But they're like the seductive, beautiful vampires. Yeah, sure, welcome.
My servant fails me.
So here we are, they're in Karsabar. They're led by Wassorin, who is not a Necroc. He's on a Barded Nightmare. Rickgul, Erich Jaeger, Skeleton Spearmen, zombies. And they have a Banshee. What's his name? Dwilindong Rishdalos. Okay.
Darkness come.
There's a Necromancer there. Ludwig Ratep.
Ever vigilant.
And a Waystalker? Yeah, Dulos. And here's the Bowman, Orion, the what's it called? Bowman of Orion.
Proud son
Led
of
by
Avalluran.
Bindor? Isrostot. Which is a Treeman Ancient. A spellcasting tree. Very cool. Isrostot. Yep. Before the Earls, there were the Ancients. If woken from their slumber, it is always to defend the forests.
Highborn.
Findol. We see Wildwood Rangers, Eternal Guard, and Glade Guard with Hagbane tips. The Wood Elves are a tricky army. They're primarily ranged. But they have pretty good infantry because they're still elves. But they use Beastmen, they use Beast Paths, and they moved away from me again. They're outside of my... Actually, I don't think they actually are outside of my range. I think I can get them with Jaeger here. Come on, you made a fatal mistake. I don't think you can flee while you're in Beast Paths. And you can. Well, shut my mouth!
It is time.
Chasing down Beastmen. Volksgrad increases its level, and I don't know, fields. Weaving house. I didn't think units could flee while they're in Beast Paths or underground. They can't flee if they're caught in it. Oh, there's another army here now. It's Prince Imrek again. Okay. Go over here again to see if we can see Itza. Is Itza here or is Itza down there? Itza's down here, actually. Yeah, there it is. I'm going the wrong way! The deserts of Lustria are confused. No, the jungles of Lustria. Deserts of Lustria. Anything else changed around here? The moot's still held by the dwarves. I'm surprised the Empire hasn't confederated with, like, Ostland and Ostland. Hey dwarves, do you want to, like, do anything with me now?
Honor to your
No,
ancestors.
still no military alliance. Oh yeah, what ranking am I? 6. I think I've actually gone down the ranking. In turn. think I might do one more turn, isn't it? Or I'll just let this turn actually go, and then I'll stop. Come the next turn, I'll pull it here. So we've successfully managed to push back the Chaos Invasion for the moment. They'll still come. There's still more, and this is only the preliminary invasion. We haven't dealt with the actual invasion yet, which will be tougher. Their armies are better equipped, and they're actually led by their legendary lords, so we'll have to deal with that. Oh, what? How'd that happen? Trade agreement dissolved with Avalon. It wasn't Avalon's turn. They haven't confederated with anyone.
What could you possibly
Is it because
want?
Krace has sieged their port city? Military access again. Marius, no, I just said no. Just doesn't take no for an answer. He's like, I want to visit Kislev. I want to walk across your lands. Why? Because I want to. Don't ask questions. My horse said it was a good idea. Man, Heimlings haven't been too much of a trouble, really.
Your
The occasional army.
ceremony fails to impress me, Bretonnian.
Morgan of the Flame, we seek cooperation. Unity is our best course, don't you think? Nah. I see no reason. You're all the way down there. It's because all the factions are like, Chaos is invading! We have to unite against a common threat. Actually gives me a very good chance to deal with that army. I think I'll just auto-resolve it. It's a bit late. There we go. Bit of a anti-climax, but I have more opportunities in the future. And I'll take the money. Because they're going to be all dead anyway. I don't know whether taking the money or executing the captives changes how many are left afterwards. I kind of assume so, but on the other hand, don't know. Kazdor managed to damage a building in Volksgrad. Thank you a lot. What was there to damage? Doomtide. The Chaos Horde has poured in, and remorseless tide scouring all in its path. Yet even the most savage flood must eventually recede, leaving battered survivors to pick through the flotsam on ravaged shores. We are saved, they cry, heedless of the fact that tides are certain in one respect: they will always rise again. The old world has suffered the onslaught, yet now another wave rolls forth from the accursed chaos wastes. Yes, don't sit on your laurels. You damaged the city. Town. Curse you! Hard to hit.
Yes, my lord.
Hey, the mage went up a level. Get Crossblade. You get Scarred Veteran. Boris? You don't get Erskine yet. One more level and you'll be able to get your bear mount. I want. Our Strelts here actually close. Sharpshooter. What's our Siberian Hunters? Mongol Archers and Dracena. It doesn't counter Streltsy. Physical resistance for Streltsy. Melee attack for Streltsy. Melee attack for Streltsy? But they're a ranged unit. I mean, I suppose they can do either. But physical resistance is nice. What's that? Reload skill, missile damage. So they shoot faster and they have more damage. Protective spell. Magic resistance. And melee defense. Physical resistance, melee attack. Weapon damage. For units I don't have. Don't have Gospodar Halberdiers. This is only for units which are ranked 7 or above, and my crossbows I don't think count. My Streltsy, I only have 1 unit ranked 7. There's not actually that much use getting it right now. None of my units are high enough level to benefit from those. Yeah, you can't actually get like increased missile damage for Streltsy. I mean, you get Blessed by Ursum, which is pretty good. Because I get ward saves, but... Egypt for Kreml Guard? I'd like Kreml Guard. You don't actually have Kreml Guard, though. Get hold of the line. What do I need for Kreml Guard? Where can I get them? I can get them from here, can't I? Yeah, there. Okay. I need an armory. I can build an armory in... I build an armory in Prague. That would mean if Volksgrad gets destroyed, I would still have one. That might be a good idea.
Yes?
Okay. Boris. Got to Volksgrad.
Yes.
You can go to Volksgrad. Well. And I was going to call it, so I will save. After that little bit. There we go. And we've saved. Oh wait, I want to check trade agreement. Changing circumstances have resulted in the need for us to cancel the trade agreement with Avalon. I assume because they've taken Tor Anlek. No, Safari always controlled Tor Anlek. Can I see Phoenix Gate? I can't see who owns that. Hey, Avalon.
You stand before the mistress of the undying forest.
What provinces do you control? Oh! Oh, is that why? That is, I assume. That's been taken by Krace. So they don't have a path from their capital to a port city. They don't hold the Griffin Gate. They've lost control of the Unicorn Gate. And also Tor Saroya here. So, to be able to trade with a faction, they need to have either an overland path from between your capital and their capital. Avalon's capital is Gain Vale, but it is a capital, it's not a port city. So they need to have a port city, or a port town, I think. There's a port town here. Evershale, I think it is, maybe. Going by the map. But since they've lost Tor Saroya here, there's no more connection from the port to their capital. So we can't trade with them there. We're fine. Because we've got Erengrad and it's overland to Kislev. But the Empire, we could always trade with the Empire because they would have to lose Altdorf, which is their capital, for us to lose trade with them. Bretonia, well, since they have Marienburg, we could trade with them because Cologne is their capital, and Cologne is not a port city. But they also have Bordello, which is a port city. They have overland connection, either through Mousillon, Leonese, or up here through Castle Bastion, Gisoro, Castle Artois. All that. So. Anyway, it would be nice actually if you could see like, if you could have like a trade overlay over here, and if you clicked it, it actually highlighted like the path the trade was taking to get to their capital. So you could say, oh, I can trade with them because of this port city here. So if I want to keep trade with them, it might be an idea for me to defend that city for them. If they're under attack. Or not. Anyway. It's enough rambling. Exit domain. Yep. And the frames have been pretty good this session. I don't know what caused the lag last time. Only for one turn. It was weird. Only for like maybe only about 10 minutes. I don't know. Either the game just decided to struggle on something or my computer was doing something. I don't know. Anyway. 'Tis a mystery and will remain a mystery. So yes, that will do it for our Kislev campaign for tonight. I'd like to thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you will join me again next time, where we deal with the invasions of chaos again. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll stop the recording here.